Okay, this is Brick Ninja here, and I am going to show you how to build in BrickLink's Studio and make instructions. So for this, I am going to build the mini kit from the Lego Star Wars game, and give me a quick moment here while I build it up. When you are trying to build the item, you will want to build it with your steps in mind for the instructions. You can adjust this later, but it becomes really hard to do everything all at the end. When you're building, there are a couple of different ways to find parts that you're looking for. There's a search bar right here, and you can search either a name or a number. So we are going to start with the base of the mini kit, clear out that search, and then you can also do it by type. So the next part would be a plate, and then there's this little drop down menu, and you can go plate modified, plate rounded. We're going to go with plate rounded, and sometimes this is slow populating, and boom. So we got two parts on the first step. Then we click add step, and we are going to go with plate modified then. And I will need this here. You can rotate using the arrows, left, right, up, down, all of that fun stuff. And what's the other plate modified I need? It's this one. Then you can hit Control, sorry, and select multiple items and change the color. So we want light bluish gray. Boom. Then I need a regular plate, 1x2. I'm going to make that also light blue-gray. Then I need an antenna, which I think is actually a lever. There we go. You can rotate that around. And that is white. Clear that out, and then we can go to a brick and do the drop down and go to brick rounded and grab a 2x2 standard brick. Boom. Add step, and then we can do control and select these ones here and copy them, plop them right up there, hit escape to drop out of the copying, go to the next step, and then we need to add a clip. I guess I should have done clip plate, whatever. And you'll see every possible variation. It is nice that there's all the options because there is sometimes functional difference, but also it can be annoying because you do have differences between them. There's also sometimes a cost difference, so that is important to keep in mind. You might make something that isn't very expensive, except for you use the wrong part type. You might use a rare color for an older part type or something like that, and that might drive the cost up if someone were to just purchase everything off of BrickLink. Then we need a 2x2 tile rounded. And then finally, that's good. We need the plate rounded. And down to rotate up like that. And down to rotate up. And then I can make these trans green and trans red. Trans green and trans red. Boom. So we got the mini kit built. I'm also going to build a stand for it. And that I am going to do as a subassembly so we can see how that works. Brick rounded. Where did that thing go? There we go. And then I want a dish. Dish 4x4. Boom. Okay, I've got a stand here, and then I'm going to make that trans clear. And then I'm going to move this to the next step, and then we're going to select all of this here, and we can go model create into submodel, and then I can name this stand. Alrighty, so here is our final build, and then for the instructions, we can go up to the instructions button here. And you can edit stuff in this thing here, choosing the steps, moving parts from one part to another. So I could drag and drop this to there. So now step 1 adds these 3 parts, and step 2 adds these 2 parts. I'm going to put that back because I think this is better. I don't find this super useful other than pretty much just moving parts real quick if you need to. So click on the page design. Wow. I guess my computer doesn't like recording, and same thing. You can change the background fill color. So since we got a lot of white, I'm going to go with a not white background. Here, let's go with a shade of blue. Boom. Done. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's do it for the global. There we go. Global styles will change it on all the pages. So you can change it differently for different. Why did this not change this one? There. Okay, I turned fill off. Man, those shades are a little bit different. Okay, good enough. You have your parts call out of what's being added. You got these 2 parts here. It's really hard for people to see what's going on here, so I'm going to drag this down, and I'm going to click on just the top rounded one, and activate buffer exchange. That will let you move stuff up. So I'm going to move it up 40 units, and pull this arrow up, and then, nope, shorten the arrow down so it's not overlapping, and then you get your little part there with the arrow saying click on this, and then we can go on to step 2. I have it set up for default of outlining parts in red. It's not super necessary, but it does definitely make it overall easier, and anything that makes it easier I think is best in my opinion. We're going to pull out that 2x2. Let's make that 60. Just because of those 3 parts right there, just looks a little cleaner in my mind. And boom, so we get the 2 parts there, and then the 3rd part being added. I don't really feel like I need to do a call out on this one. And you add those 2. That's pretty simple. This one here. Step 6. And then this is the subassembly for the stand. So you get a whole picture of the entire subassembly, and then the parts that you need for this step here. And if you do multiple sub-assemblies, it will automatically do like the ×2, ×3, whatever. Wow, that looks kind of weird. I'm just going to do this so it looks less weird. Oh, alright, forgot I was going the other way. -40. Bum, bum, bum. I'm going to spin it around this way. Boom. And then attach this part here, activate buffer exchange, -40. Oh, I did -400. Yeah, don't do that. There we go. Bring this down and then pull that arrow up. Now, this one might be a little confusing for some people because I can't quite see where it's going, so we can change the view. So you can click on the individual step and go change step view, and then we can flip it however you deem best. I think it's going to be something like this, and then you can also rotate it. So let's go with this, and then you also change the slight angle of the rotations. Let's go with the one in the middle. And then grab our arrow and rework that so it's pointing to there, pointing at the right angle. And there we go. People should be able to see that it's going onto the bottom of that anti-stead. Now we've done this so we can do an insert and then a flip icon. This way here, people know they're supposed to rotate the model. And then on our final step, when everything's all said and done, I want it a more basic, normal view. You can change all that stuff. There we go. That's good. Now, the other thing you can do, and particularly on a small model like this would be good, is you can do the change layout, and you can choose how many steps per page. So this is 1, this is 2 side by side, this is 2 top and bottom, 3 side by side, 3 top and bottom, 4 in a square. Different order for the 4 in the square. 6 in a square. Different 6 in a square. So we're going to go with 4 in a square and do apply. And then drag and drop this stuff around. Let's change the zoom on this to 70 so it fits a little bit better. You should be able to adjust that in the global settings as well, but on such a small model, might as well just do it here. Boom. Boom. Just for consistency, I'll make that one 70% as well. I think I'm actually going to make this 2 steps. So we get these 2 steps on there. And then this one here will be 3 steps. So we can have the entire stand call out on one page. Boom. There we go. And somewhere I lost my rotate icon. Maybe it's hiding under one of these. Okay, and you do that, and then your final step has everything all said and done. I'm actually just gonna bump that up to like 130 because why not? put it in the middle. So this is our call out. Not necessary on such a small build, but it lets you build the entire thing and then add the whole thing to the model. Definitely useful on more complex builds. So here we go. We got step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's looking good. Step 5, we're adding that piece. Step 6, we're adding this and these two. You know, these kind of get lost, so I'm going to pull this one here out. You should be able to do it on the arrows, but whatever. I'll just do 50 on this. Get it lined up for there. Frequently the arrows are a little too long, so let me shorten that back up. And I actually want to pull that out a little bit more because it's just overlapping with the model. There we go, and hopefully calling out... Actually, cancel that one. I should call out the red one because it's outlined in red. It's even less obvious. Not negative 70. Regular 70. Boom. Though, if you don't know how to build a mini kit, you know, that would be kind of sad. Boom, there we go. Okay, so we get the top tile, the green stud, the red stud's called out, those two there, and this one here. Okay, you can also add pages, and delete that. I want a new page in front. There we go. Then you can insert images. So I like to do a front cover. And that lets me find the other Lego folder. There we go. That lets it just kind of look a little bit more complete and official and let people see the final image and the final product, I should say. So this is a photo I took earlier and edited in Photoshop to get a nice clean picture. Okay, it's not that clean. I took it off my cell phone, but so we got a front page with a picture, then we go into the instructions, and then coming down here I am going to go to insert and bill of materials. Unfortunately, you have very little... Nope, delete that. I need to add an extra page and then do bill of materials. It was overlaying it. Unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot of options on the bill of materials. You can't really rearrange stuff or adjust the sizing. Sometimes it gets a little wonky. You can adjust the size of everything over here on the scale, but not of like an individual part if there's like one part that's abnormally large. Frequently you end up with some extra space there, so I do another insert image, and then I have a little calling card type thing so people can either follow me on social media or if they come up with any questions or whatever. And that's just something I've made up in Photoshop, and boom, you've got it. 6 pages long, set of instructions to build a mini kit. You've got a couple of options for exporting. You click to export. You can do just a select number of pages. You can do all the pages, and then you can do PNG files. Each page will be a separate file, or you can do a PDF. For our instructions, we're going to prefer a PDF. It's just much easier, a single thing. And then you can also choose the size of the images. For the most part, I don't think we need to go to 4 times. Even 1 time's probably okay. And then you can go to export. and it will save it. And it doesn't take too long to do that, particularly on a small build like this. 1 page done, 2 pages. There we go, we're almost there. We go, halfway there. And that is how you set up the instructions. And then you can save this. Probably should save in the meantime, but whatever. Mini kit. Done. The other cool thing you can do is exit gets you out of the instruction thing. You can upload it to your BrickLink as a want list, and then you can download the want list as an XML file that will then let other people just automatically upload the needed parts to BrickLink, and gives them a parts list that's not just picture based. That, you know, BrickLink's a lot easier that way. You also can go to, let's use a BrickLink. No, it's model info. This is something I highly recommend on bigger builds, particularly if you think you might be running into accidentally choosing expensive variants of a part that have no difference in the build. This gives you a rough average of what the going price is for different parts, and then you can organize it by price each. So our most expensive part is the 4x4 dish in trans clear. That is not too surprising, and not one that I would easily be able to change out. I could change it out for a 3x3. I don't know if that's much to any cheaper, and I also kind of don't think it would actually hold up the mini kit. I think it would probably tip over then. It'd be too small of a base. 2x2 round tile. I used the one when I was building it with the cross in the middle rather than the stud connector in the middle on the underside. So let's see what we've got there. Close this, pull this off, and we can rotate it up so you can see I got the cross one there. So let's try a 2x2 tile round. This should be the other one. Yep, that one's got the rounded hole. So I can drop that right up there and drag this up into the step that has the other one, delete that one, and then we can go to model info, price each, and the price did drop down on that one there. So this one here is cheaper. Like I said, it's obviously not a big deal on this one here. Super small thing. This is an estimated price of $1.70, which is probably way higher than what it would actually cost. But if you get something big, even my hover tank, parts come out to almost $40 off of the in-studio estimation. And sometimes just pulling out more expensive parts for other stuff that's functionally the same will help reduce that cost. And anything that reduces the cost will help people be more interested in buying it. So let's look at the instructions one last time and make sure that swapping out that one part didn't do anything wonky on the steps. Well, nope, not really. If you had done a buffer exchange where it was sticking up with the arrow, then you probably have to go back and redo that. And this should also have been updated, though honestly I'm not 100% sure. I've never done it after having already done a parts call out or at the end. So let's go back to exit. And then we can go to add to want list. And this will just pop up BrickLink, assuming you're already signed in, create a new want list called MiniKit. Proceed to verify items. You're going to want to make sure there's a picture next to all of these. If there is not a picture, chances are you have either a part color that doesn't exist or a particular variant that doesn't exist in that color. But if you got a picture next to everything, you should be good. And add to want list. I can view MiniKit. There's the parts. It's got 2 of these, awesome. 2 of those, great. 1 of everything else, other than the clear cones. There we go. And then you can go to download, and this will download a copy of it, which this is just an XML file. If you open it up, it's going to be not quite, but close to computer garbage. You can see, like, it's got the ID number, and then the color, and then the max price. I don't know what the max price is there for, but anyways, you can technically edit this, but you don't need to. But we can send them both the instruction PDF and the XML. This allows them to, on BrickLink, they can go to upload, and then add to upload XML, add to new want list, mini kit 2, and you can either upload or you can just do Control C and Control V, and then this will just let them to really quickly add in all the parts to their own want list. So boom, now I've got mini kit 1, mini kit 2, they're identical. Then you can go to buy all, and we're just going to go with anywhere, and then go to auto select, and this will find, quote, the cheapest option without going into too many stores. It's a little vague, but you're going to spend more on shipping if you go into multiple stores. So sometimes it really makes it kind of wonky, and sometimes not. Obviously, this is going to be different for different countries, but I can buy all the parts for $1.66, which is pretty close to what the BrickLink, what the studio, I should say, estimate was. But there you go. That gives you kind of a better idea of what would be a good estimated cost, which I think would be a good detail to put in with the instructions. And that is everything. Alrighty, hope this was helpful. There you go. That's how to do instructions in Studio.